Alright, welcome to Civilization 2 Test of Time. Even though this is the Test of Time version, I'm not actually going to play the extended game. I'm just going to play the original game, mainly because that's the one I'm familiar with, and the extended game just kind of, whenever you get to a certain point, it allows you to start. Oh, you'll see, I'll explain it when we get there. Anyway, original game. Start a new game. We're going to play a large world. Long game, yes. The six difficulties, obviously easiest to toughest. If you can play this and do everything in the game in that minimal amount of time and that much restricted difficulty, you're crazy, and I salute you. I usually play King or Prince. I haven't played in years. I've actually played a few games in Emperor and managed to win, but it's tough. So I think I'll stick with Prince for this one to make it a little easier on myself. And then you can choose the amount of civilizations. You can go random. I like to play with four, so I'm one of them. There'll be three other civilizations on the map. You can interact with them. You can trade stuff with them. You can go to war with them. Basically, they're a huge pain in the ass, especially as the game moves on. Oh, you'll see. And then you get to choose the level of barbarian activity. These are like, just random scrubs who don't have a civilization, but they like attacking other civilizations. I'm going to play Raging Hordes just because you get a small score bonus, and hey, I'm a score whore. I like to bump my score as high as I can. We'll be using the standard rules. I'm not going to get into the customized ones. Like this game, there's so much stuff you can do. It's amazing. I'm going to be a male, and I'm going to have it on the Celts, but I'm going to customize who and what we are, and the leader, of course, is going to be Brysolf. My tribe is going to be YouTube, and the adjective is YouTubes. Oh, isn't that nice? But once I click this, we get to choose between the four kinds, and I always do Bronze Age, because Classical Form, Far East, and Medieval, but I like Bronze Age. But anyway, once I click this, it's going to form our world and give us our starting text. So let's see what we got. We got irrigation, mining, and roads. Let's see what they gave us. The leader of the YouTube. Yeah, my reign will be long and prosperous. Let's do it. Alright, so in my civilization, we're naming all the cities after some of my subscribers. And of course, Zoopsol gets to be the capital because, well, he's big enough to hold all the people that will live there, because your capital tends to be a great city. So you notice in the top left corner how many people I have, the year, I can't see right now, and the amount of gold. Early on, turns take 20 years. Like each turn is 20 years, and it's quite impressive that it takes that long. But as the game goes along, years slow down, so you're discovering stuff faster, because everything really picked up in the last 200 years type thing. So early on, not a lot getting discovered. And early on, my goal is to expand my civilization. And what I'm doing is I'm building a road right there with my settler, which will give some trade and some science so I can make more money and discover stuff faster. So you see, I just learned ceremonial burial. Pardon me. And here's my second city, round the wheel. Now watch the warrior down there once I'm out of the screen. He's going to step into that hut. That hut can have a lot of different effects. It can be gold. It can be I don't know what else. Gold, barbarians can pop out of there who will attack you. It can be nothing. You can find settlers, or you can even find a scientific advancement. Although, only to a certain point in the game, because after that, they remove that part for you. So right there, I was just checking the area of the city, and I discovered that I'm going to be sharing a square with Zoopsol later on. And I try to avoid that at all costs, but occasionally I'll share a square or two between cities if I can get some advantageous like stuff. For instance, like if actually, we'll talk about that in a minute, but there is a wonder of the world. They take a lot of work to build, but they have really cool effects, so they're worth it in the long run. Although I started that the Colossus. That Colossus is actually going to be changed over to a pyramid in a second, because the pyramid puts a granary in every city. Granaries, see in the bottom corner where it says food storage. Once you fill your food storage, you'll get a new citizen for that city. But if you don't have granaries, the food stock drops to 0 for the next time. But once I fill that to 30 and let's say I have the pyramid in place, with a granary it only drops to 20, so I have 20 out of 40 for the next time, so you can build your population faster. And it just saves you from paying for granaries, so it's a great wonder of the world, and it never runs out. It's fantastic. It's the only ancient wonder in the world that does not, or the world, in the game that does not expire, so it's pretty nice. And see how my warrior is walking along on the river, and he's actually getting 3 movements per turn. what happened is that he's on the river, so he gets to move at a third of a movement point. He's like in a canoe or whatever, is pretty much what it stands for. And roads do the same thing, and they're the best way to travel till later in the game, when you can actually build railroads, which you can move along with no movement point loss. So if you have everything connected by railroad, you can bring anywhere in your civilization on that landmass. However, this game, it looks like I'm going to be on a fairly small island, which is a good thing. That means that I'm probably not sharing it with another civilization. I hate having another civilization on the same island as me, because, well, they're jerks, and eventually I'm going to have to go to war with them, and that's going to waste a lot of my concentration and time. What's going on here is I'm just going to be researching monarchy. It'll be a new form of government. Currently I'm a despot, I'm a despotism, and you don't get very good returns on your where you build. It just your people are like depressed and unhappy, and they don't want to work all that hard. So I'm going to change to monarchy, which is a little better. I get better returns on my squares, and I can actually set my science and tax and luxury rates higher. I'll get into that once I change the government. So right now I've got 3 cities working on wonders. As I'm going to show here, I'm going to go to my city status, 2 building Colossus and 1 building the pyramid. So this one that's right there, I'm just going to leave on the Colossus for now, because the Colossus is one that my opponents will try to build as soon as they can. It's like one of the earliest ones you can get. And I've also got the Great Wall available. And the Great Wall is a really important one early on if you're like me. If you're not big on war, you can use that to force peace on anyone who will actually talk to you when they're at war. The only thing is that the opposition will often do this, we're not, enough of your endless chatter, be gone, we have no use for you. So I'm just doing my thing. I'm expanding as fast as I can. I want to try to cover as much of the landmass, get as many cities in as I can. Now, beginning a revolution to change to monarchy. And it doesn't take long in the early going. So you see it's income of 7, discovery of 13. 70% is the max for this, so I'm going to increase my science, and even though I'm making 1 gold coin less per turn, it's taking 1 less turn to discover things. And in this game, getting ahead in the scientific race is huge, because they could be stuck using like spearmen and stuff like that, and you can be using you know, musketeers or riflemen, and that's a huge advantage because you've got gunpowder and they don't. The only problem is as soon as you get advances like that, they try to steal them. And no doubt the computer will demonstrate how to steal stuff. Me, I'm not going to be doing that because that just sets off wars, and I'm all about peace for as long as I can until I have a huge advantage, and then I'll just intimidate them into attacking me. Alright, so we found a mercenary force there. And just to show you, you know, the different types, this is the elephant. Attack power of 4, defensive strength of 1, has great movement speeds, and every single entry in this this game you can read about in the Civilpedia. So you can learn the historical importance of them, as well as find out what they do and what their value and all that. So it's pretty neat. This game educates. I learned a lot from this game, Civ 2 and Civ 3, over the years. It's amazing what you can learn just by reading the Civilpedia. Just one of those neat games. It looks like I'm just about done exploring. See the writing there, that I could make a diplomat. That's the guy who can steal technology and do stuff like that for you. There's a better version of it later in the game, though, called a spy. And spies are a lot better at not getting caught. Like, diplomats almost always get caught when they do stuff like that. So I just found another set of elephants. So I've got a lot of military units I don't need. I'm probably going to send that elephant somewhere to a place making a wonder and disband it, because you can turn the unit into shields for the wonder, or anything else for that matter you're building. But I usually, early on, if I have extra units, they go into helping deal with wonders. I am going to keep 1 elephant out, though, as a defensive measure. We want to make sure that we're not going to give the computer a chance to, or the computer, pardon me, the barbarians, because they start appearing. Eventually, barbarians are just going to start popping up anywhere you haven't built. We're like, peasant revolt near, you know, Yalthnum 1, and then they'll start just pouring out of nowhere. Ah, there's King Cool. Good to see him joining the party, along with Kingdom Cards, who makes awesome Mike Tyson Punch-Out videos you should check out. Very high quality, great guy. Check him out. So, this part now, it's going to be boring for a while until I can get myself into the water and start expanding. We now know this is where I'm stuck right now. but I just learned map making, meaning I can make ships that can sail. The problem with those ships are that if you take them away from shoreline, there's like a 50% chance they're going to sink. My goodness. You don't want them to sink because you'll lose all the units on board and you can't expand your city if they're at the bottom of the, or your civilization if they're at the bottom of the ocean. And yeah, this is confusing a lot to do, but don't worry. There's a lot of videos coming. You'll start to pick up what I'm doing here. I just changed that around to get better production out of the city, and they would still, you know, move up in population soon enough. The fish are great food, but they just don't give a lot of shields, as in none.